Hi, I'm training to be an end-time survivor. I want to listen and learn so I can live through the last days. There's an amazing paradox at the moment with regard to the politics surrounding global warming and utilization of the world's resources. There's a lot of right-wingers who claim to have faith in God at the same time that they give many justifications for ignoring all of the warnings about global warming and warnings against wasting the world's resources. They go so far as to stick their heads in the sand and say that resources are inexhaustible or that global warming is not happening. Then we have the left-wingers who tell us that there really is a serious problem, one that will require some extreme changes in the way we live if we want to save the planet. They sometimes do things like buying cars with better fuel consumption, boycotting multinational corporations for one reason or another, and contributing to vague charities that are supposed to be doing the things that magically make up for the damage they do when they fly around the world. But when you take a closer look at these lefties, you often find that they are, on the whole, still using more resources and contributing more to global warming than the average person in the developing world. You'd be lucky to find a political party anywhere in the Western world that advocates taking, right now, the steps that are really needed to end our use of fossil fuels. Steps like having no more petrol-driven cars or switching entirely to wind, solar, and other sustainable sources for household and business electricity. And you'd be lucky to find a political party anywhere in the Western world that advocates taking, right now, the steps that are really needed to wipe out health and nutrition disadvantages in the rest of the world. Steps like ending crop imports from developing countries and putting an end to any form of economic control over such things as medical breakthroughs and development of seeds and other food sources. Everywhere, politicians wait for someone else to take the lead, or they make token changes like recycling plastic bags when often it is what goes into those bags that is doing the most damage. Overconsumption won't stop until someone with enough political clout cuts off the supply, and in democratic countries, such a government would never be elected. The issues are complex, and some steps to save the environment have proven to be of little practical use, while others have actually made matters worse. It is easy to understand people from both sides just giving up and taking the attitude, whether openly, as with the right-wingers, or secretly, as with so many of the left-wingers, that we are going to lose this battle anyway, so we may as well have as much fun as we can along the way. The only way to reverse the trend and save the world is by making drastic, radical changes to our entire way of life on this planet, and no one knows how to make the whole world make those changes. If individual governments feel helpless to change the trend, how much more do each of us individuals feel the same sense of hopelessness? The only people who are going to do anything about this problem are the ones with ideals that extend beyond life itself. If we're all on a sinking ship, does it mean we all have the right to step on one another to reach the non-existent lifeboats? Or are there isolated individuals who will die without giving in to their natural, selfish instincts? It has been argued that the problem with any discussion of end-time prophecy is that it creates in believers a feeling of hopelessness that makes them reason, we can't change the outcome anyway, so why bother trying to change the world for the better? Just enjoy it the best you can and preach about a better life later. Certainly, there is an abundant evidence of that among those who profess to believe the Bible. But this response does not come from an honest attempt to understand the spirit of Bible prophecy. The Revelation, chapter 11, verse 18, says, in reference to the end of the world as we know it, your wrath has come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that you should reward your servants the prophets and the saints, and those who fear your name, small and great, and should destroy those who destroy the earth. This passage is making a clear distinction between two groups. One is the God-fearing saints, prophets and servants of God, and the other is them which destroy the earth. There is nothing in the Revelation to suggest that there is a middle group that destroys the earth but is still considered to be serving God. Nor is there anything in the Revelation to suggest that there will be a turn in the tides of world politics to reverse this destruction of the earth. So those who participate in this destruction of the earth's resources, by using more than their share, will not be regarded by God as saints or prophets, and they will, in fact, be destroyed. How does that compare with those who argue that they can get away with ignoring the warnings about overconsumption and global warming simply because they have a ticket into a better world?
I'm not going to be going to heaven and be broke when I get there.
We need to look again at the conditions for getting that ticket and take steps to stop abusing this world's resources right now. Only those people who have a faith which demands adherence to unselfish principles, whether or not they succeed in changing others, will do the right thing in these last days. All those who argue that talk of heaven and hell, final judgment, and life after death being pointless need to come up with some better reason for people to make the kind of radical sacrifices that are needed to reflect the golden rule in these dying days of our planet. Are we prepared to change our lifestyle in such a way as to live at the level of the third world? Are we prepared to live off the scraps of a wasteful Western society? Are we prepared to alter our spending habits in a way that will reflect what would be a standard of living that could sustain the entire world? And most importantly, are we prepared to do it even if no one else does? The people on this channel are hoping to meet others who share our concerns and who are willing to make the kinds of radical sacrifices that are needed to be made, even if we're the only people left on the planet willing to do so. Many of us would find that virtually impossible to do if we did not believe in a higher spiritual level of existence that will transcend life. Because we are answerable to the Creator of the universe, it follows that we must make those changes even in the face of total annihilation of the human race, and do all that we can to urge others to make those changes as well. Those of us who have been brought together through the End Time Survivors movement hope to encourage others to reverence God as we do and submit ourselves to His loving will. But we are also reaching out in this way because we love the world that God has created and the people that He has created. Both of these reasons merge into one, yet factions have argued for decades that it is an either-or thing, where you either love God the Creator or you love the world He has created. Ultimately, you can't have one without the other. Love of God will lead to loving His creation and treating it with the respect it deserves. And loving the world will naturally lead to us reverencing and loving the Creator of the world. We hope that people on both sides of the political spectrum, left as well as right, will choose to rethink the whole concept of God and humble themselves before Him for the good of everyone on the planet, including themselves. We would love to hear from anyone who shares our vision and concern. Email us at Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to this channel for more videos.